Why are adults asking children to pay the price for problems adults have failed to solve? Leadership is supposed to create opportunities. Leadership is supposed to remove obstacles. Leadership is supposed to build pathways of success. Leadership is not supposed to tell young people to sacrifice opportunities because adults have failed to produce results.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones here, and welcome to another edition of the Publisher's Desk, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine and blackwestchester.com. And please go to blackwestchester.com and get our e-paper. As I want to remind everybody, we are really about that life. We are a real newspaper, real media company. And if you're in the Westchester, New York, Northern Bronx, Southern Connecticut area, you could get this paper. The areas of the drop-off is on the site. But if you're not, you can still go to the site, brothers and sisters, and support and download the new paper from Black Westchester Magazine, the newspaper of Black America. And today, brothers and sisters, we want to talk about something that's just left me shaking my head. The NAACP and alongside members of the Congressional Black Caucus have launched what they're calling Out of Bounds campaign. And their message is simple. They want Black athletes to reconsider attending certain universities in southern states because of concerns about congressional redistricting and political representation. Now, before anyone gets emotional, let's be clear. I'm not defending gerrymandering. Matter of fact, I think red and blue states should get rid of it. This is not a defense of Republicans. And this is not a defense or attack on Democrats. This is not even a debate about whether representation matters, because representation do matter. The question is whether representation is producing results, because politics is not supposed to be the outcome. Politics is supposed to be the tool for the outcomes. And after listening to nearly 30 minutes of speeches from the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, activists, I was asking myself a simple question: where are the outcomes? So I've been saying this for the last couple of videos. The first problem of this press conference is Black people did not lose their right to vote. I don't know how many times I have to say that, because speaker after speaker talk about attacks on Black political power and Black representation. There is a difference, brothers and sisters. Losing the right to vote and disputes over representation and district maps. Black people can still vote. Black people can still register. Black people can still run for office. Black people still can politically organize. Black people can still participate in elections. The debate about representation and redistricting, those are important issues we should address. But they're not the same thing as saying Black Americans have lost their right to vote. Those are two different conversations. And that clearly matters, brothers and sisters. And this is the biggest part that troubles me. Why in the world are adult Black people asking children to solve problems that grown-ass adults fail to solve? Think about what's being proposed. A young man spends years working on his grades, years training, practicing, and dreaming about earning a scholarship, and dreaming about changing his future and the future of his family. Then after decades of Black adults, supposed to be the best minds down in Congress and in civil rights organizations, and after all these years of political battles, policy debates, election campaigns, and leadership failures, Black adults put the burden on a 17-year-old. Does that make any type of sense? A high school graduate does not draw congressional maps. A college recruit does not write election law. A student athlete did not create the political conditions we're battling today. Because anybody could have seen it coming. So you're asking a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, when all his life you didn't do nothing to prevent this? How does it fall on him? Why? Why are adults asking children to pay the price for problems adults have failed to solve? Leadership is supposed to create opportunities. Leadership is supposed to remove obstacles. Leadership is supposed to build pathways of success. Leadership is not supposed to tell young people to sacrifice opportunities because adults have failed to produce results. For some families, a scholarship is just not a scholarship. God damn it, it's hope. It's opportunity. It's economic mobility. It's first college graduates in the family. It's a chance to break the broken cycle. And I'm telling you right now, for the Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP to put that burden on young black men is irresponsible. How are you going to place the burden of political activism on children when those same adults have not demonstrated measurable success solving the problems in black communities throughout the nation? I listened very carefully to the press conference. I heard the representation. I heard democracy. I heard voting rights. I heard political power. I heard Jim Crow. I heard boycotts. I heard protests. I heard nothing but goddamn symbolism. What I didn't hear is outcome. Nobody explained what was the legal process. Another thing that jumped out at me, brothers and sisters, throughout the press conference, everybody talked about having a seat at the table. The NAACP talked about representation. The Congressional Black Caucus talked about representation. Everybody talked about representation. But here's my question, NAACP and Black Caucus. What damn good is a seat at the table if nothing changes for the people that you're representing? Black America has more representation today than any point in history. We have black mayors, we have black city council members, we have black state legislators, we have black members in Congress, we got a black governor, we even had a black president, but yet black communities are struggling. Young children can't even damn read in many of the black communities throughout the nation. So if representation matters, what is the damn results from that representation? What is the results when our communities look like hell? A seat at the table don't mean no damn power? And Congressional Black Caucus, you have proved that. 37 years. A reparation bill just to study reparations. Not even to give no money, just to have a panel to study it. 37 years it's been sitting. John Conyers is turning over in his grave that a bill that he had pushed has still been sitting for 37 years. And the best thing you could tell us right now is have black students to give up scholarships to schools in the South? Have you realized, Congressional Black Caucus, that black folks live in the South? Have you realized, Congressional Black Caucus and NAACP, that black folks work for these institutions? That black people are migrating from northern states back to the South? What are you talking about? This is how I know we have lost our mind.
And as far as Hakeem Jeffries, where was Hakeem Jeffries when the Democratic-run state of New York changed the districts and reduced the black voters in congressional districts 16 and 17, where black people for the first time ever, had two black male congressmen, Jamal Bowman and Mondaire Jones. And when they redistrict their districts, they reduced the black vote in their districts. Hakeem Jeffries was silent then. He didn't come up to Westchester, which is 40 minutes away, and come talk to black people in Westchester about it. Where was the sister that's head of the Black Caucus that's in New York? No, we didn't hear anything from these black politicians. When it was in their backyard, we didn't hear nothing. And I'm going to keep talking about it because that shows the hypocrisy of the Congressional Black Caucus, the hypocrisy of the NAACP, because they didn't say nothing neither. Not one NAACP chapter said anything. And you expect me or any other black folks that can see to really believe what you're saying? And then you want to put all the responsibility on some young 18-year-old that's just trying to better his life and better his family's life to turn down a scholarship. You can't be serious. If these states are so terrible, why have so many black families voluntarily just moved there? That's a legitimate question. And y'all need to have an honest answer, NAACP and Congressional Black Caucus. And here's the question nobody wants to talk about. What if all your political activity produced for Black America? Not the speeches, conferences, not the hashtags, not the viral moments on TikTok and Instagram and X, not the protests, the results. Because y'all the ones that tell us that political representation is the answer. Yet black communities are still struggling. They were struggling before Trump came down the escalator and announced he was going to be president. They were struggling then. So it can't be Trump. So at what point do we stop measuring effort and start measuring outcomes? Results matter, outcomes matter, and accountability matters. When an organization asks Black America to make sacrifices, NAACP, is it reasonable to ask what previous sacrifices have produced? I'm not attacking anybody. Those are accountability questions. Now, this may be the most important question this entire discussion. Have we lost our way? Are Black Americans really supposed to believe that the Congressional Black Caucus, the body elected to write laws, influence policies, and protect interests of Black Americans, have concluded that the best solution is to tell Black children they should not attend colleges in the South? Think about that. The Congressional Black Caucus exists to create legislation, influence public policy, and protect Black interests. The NAACP is one of the oldest civil rights organizations in America. It has thousands of lawyers, legal advocates, and activists throughout the country. It has a history of fighting segregation. It has a history of fighting discrimination. It has a history of legal victories. And after all those years, after all those battles, and all those resources, the best damn solution that they could offer Black America is tell your children to turn down scholarships to schools in the South. Are you really serious? Are you really serious? First generation college students? Parents who worked overtime? Tell grandparents who sacrificed? Tell a young athlete who spent years of earning that opportunity and scholarship to that college? Tell them to walk away from that? Not because they failed, not because they messed up, not because they don't deserve it, but because adults failed to solve political problems.
if that is the best our political leadership and our civil rights organization can offer, then we really need to have a serious conversation, Black America. Because it suggests something that is so much deeper. It suggests that after all these decades of political organizing, endorsements, fundraisers, elections, activism, we may have confused political symbolism with political power. Because political power produces results. Political power improves schools. Political power creates jobs, not no DEI. Real political power increases home ownership. It strengthens families. It creates safer communities. Real political power builds wealth. Look at the Jewish community. Look at the Asian community. Look at the Italian community. Even look at the immigrant community that come over. And after all these years, the solution is to tell Black children to turn down scholarships? Then what we've been calling Black political power isn't really political power at all. Maybe it has been an illusion of political power. Because when you ain't got no outcomes, when you ain't talking legislation, when you ain't talking about making moves through the courts, then you ain't talking power. This has exposed the Negro leadership as nothing but performance. And we deserve better. Black America deserves better than performance. We deserve results. We have spent decades discussing politics in Black America. I've been out and about discussing politics for Black people for over 3 decades. And my fight locally and statewide and even national, I've seen that nobody wants correct outcomes. They talk about better schools, but when Negroes get in office, they don't create better schools. They talk about stronger families, but when Negroes get in office, they don't push legislation to create stronger families. They talk about business ownership, but when they get in office, they don't create legislation to produce better business ownership. They talk about home ownership, but they don't put the legislation together to help Black folks create better home ownership. And the fact of the matter is, Black folks go to the South for better home ownership, for safer communities, for greater wealth. They're moving to the South for that. Those are outcomes. And unfortunately, brothers and sisters, the South, as you said, are red states. So that's what Black folks is moving to. My next door neighbor just sold her home and went to Georgia. So what are the red states doing that the blue states ain't doing? See, these are some standards that every political organization should be judged. Not by intentions, not by rhetoric, not by emotional talk to Black folks using Jim Crow and you're losing your vote and all this and giving Black people anxiety. I had to explain to a friend of mine who was literally having a panic attack because y'all Negroes have misrepresented the facts. Politics is a political vehicle. Isn't it just not for y'all Negroes to get rich? Because when your strategy requires children to sacrifice opportunities because adults fail to produce results, that means you shouldn't be in leadership. Black America deserves better. Black America deserves outcomes. Black America deserves policy conversation and policy plans. We do not deserve what y'all doing to us. We deserve better. A seat at the table is not power. Representation is not power. Having a few Negroes at the seat and we don't own the table is not power. Representation has not worked. When will y'all see that? I don't understand. But if y'all like what you heard, please, please, please like and share. Share the information. We have to ask for better from our elected officials, or they're going to have to give up the seat. Or we, as a voting bloc for Black America, is going to have to think about other options if they're not going to represent us. If they're going to continue to give us symbolism without any substance. So please, if you like, please like the video. Help us with the algorithm. Please share it. Let's continue this conversation, because I do believe that God is going to make us change whether we like it or not, because Pharaoh has let us go, and the scribes, the politicians, and the Negro leaders and the elite Black folks don't know what to do, because Master has told them to get the hell out the house and do for yourself. And they don't know what to do. And let me tell you something. Nothing happens without God's permission. Without God's permission. So we have to figure out what God is telling us in this time. Pharaoh has let us go, but our Black leadership is trying to get back into Pharaoh's house. Thanks again. I'm Damon K. Jones. I'm the publisher of Black Westchester Magazine and blackwestchester.com. Like I said, please go to the website. Get the new e-paper. Download it. Check us out. Support us. It's the news with the Black point of view. And you can also, please follow on YouTube. Follow me personally on Damon K. Jones. I talk spiritually. I talk upliftment on that page because we need it. And I'll be serious, the scriptures have already told us what to do. We just have to stop going by our Bible and go in our Bible. So thanks again, brothers and sisters. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay Blacktastic. Peace out.
Black America, political loyalty without results is not power. Sign up and get your free ebook by Damon K. Jones. A seat at the table is not power. Building the table is. This book exposes how political dependence weakened our communities and lays out a blueprint for Black economic, political, and institutional sovereignty. If you're ready to move from symbolism to ownership, this is for you. Download it free today. Follow Damon K. Jones on YouTube and stay connected to empowering conversations that challenge the mind, strengthen the spirit, and uplift the community. Subscribe to Black Westchester YouTube and at Damon Jones on YouTube for powerful content on life, culture, community, faith, politics, health, and truth that makes you think for yourself. If you're serious about political clarity and independent thinking, this is for you. The Political Thought Bundle includes 3 full books, all personally singling. Democrats and Republicans, The Ultimate Gangbangers, breaks down how the two-party system operates like a legalized street war for power. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure exposes how emotion has replaced strategy in Black political engagement. Tolerance is for Coward lays out a blueprint for extended policing and community-led public safety rooted in outcomes rather than slogans. 3 signed books. One bundle, $60. That's a $75 value, and you're getting signed copies included. This isn't left versus right. It's results versus rhetoric. Go to twosteppublishing.com and secure your signed Political Thought Bundle today. It's going to be Blacktastic. For more than a century, Black America built its own economy under segregation, under discrimination, and under conditions most people today cannot imagine. We built businesses. We built banks. We bought land and property. In the Forgotten Blueprint, Damon K. Jones reveals how Black communities created thriving economic systems from 1800 to 1965, and why that blueprint still matters today. This book challenges the idea that our future depends on politics alone and shows how ownership, family, and enterprise once powered Black prosperity. The blueprint is not lost. We just stopped using it. The Forgotten Blueprint, how Black America built its own economy from 1800 to 1965. On sale now at Two Step Publishing and Amazon. Black Westchester Magazine has been giving our community a voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester Magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester Magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, A.J. Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be